Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good morning, Mary. Ooh, the color of your membership has changed. That means you have been with me. I think that means 6 months as a membership. Thanks, Mary. How are you guys this morning? I've got Mr. Hannum over here. I've got Buns down. Come on, Buns, join the party. Oh, he says hello. Good morning. It is pouring rain here. Pouring, pouring, pouring. This is really a day where you should be snuggled up and just reading a book and dozing off for naps. Like, that's the kind of vibe we've got going. But instead, this is perfect 'cause we're nice and cozy in the house. Hey, Grace. But I've got a baby shower, which is also very exciting, but it is pouring. Like, it's gonna take me a while to get there. Hey, Jan. Hey, Granny Prepper. Good morning. Oh, you want the rain, Granny Prepper? Here you go. Good morning, Margaret. How are you? Hi, Rosie Bunny. Suzanne. Oh, you need some rain? We needed some rain really bad, and it wasn't coming, and now it's just not stopping. It's crazy. Good morning, Sharon. Anybody watching the playback? Just fast forward to about 5 minutes because I always say hello to everybody coming in. Good morning, KK. Oh, thank you. Good morning, Denise. Susan, the rain dance worked, apparently. Good morning, Sandra. Morning, Amanda. Eclectic Beth, can't stay for long, gotta get to church, missed all the chats. Oh, good, I'm glad you're here at least for a little bit. Oh, you're inviting somebody, awesome. Oh, Willow, it's too hot over there? Buns. Hi, Shelly, good morning. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks guys for coming at this adjusted time just for today. I didn't want to miss the baby shower, but obviously we need to talk Millionaire next door. Lorinda, good morning. How are you? We are discussing chapters 3 and 4 today. Sunny and warm, Lori, where you are. What was I just going to say about the chapters? So we're after today, we'll be halfway through. We've got next week and then August 1st, and then we'll be done this book. You know what? I will talk about what I'm thinking about next after. Good morning, Laura. All right. Did we get did some of you, like I said, guys, even if you never even read the book, I'm glad you come to hear the discussion. But did some people dive in chapters 3 and 4? Hi, Katrina. Good morning. How are you? I'm going to get started. We ready to get rolling? Okay. All right. That just sounded like somebody just pulled in, but I don't think that. Ha, Suzanne. I read it a long time ago, got a lot out of it. Yeah, so Suzanne and she was messaging me on Instagram, and we were talking, she was saying how she doesn't really like a lot of the charts and stuff, which I kind of skim over, to be honest. I don't really get too involved in it. Good morning, Amanda. Australia! Oh, you're about to go to sleep, but you'll catch the replay. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Suzanne, I don't really care for the charts. They're a nice visual for a second to kind of get the idea of it, but I don't waste too much time on it. And actually, let's just get into it. Stats are nice, but this is overkill. Okay. I'm not a chart person either. No charts or maps for me. Oh, maps. Oh my gosh, no. Hello, man. Okay. So let's get started. We're about almost at 5 minutes here. Okay. The title's called Time, Energy, and Money, which actually for me, and if you've watched this channel, those 3 things I talk about quite often because your time is crucial. The energy you put toward things is crucial, and money I just think the way that you spend your time and energy will ultimately help decide how much money you have, right? If you're putting your time and your energy into the right things, which this chapter talks a lot about. So in reference to oh, Marcia, I'm so glad too. Hi, Helter Skelter. You guys, I put 2 community posts, one yesterday, one today, one posted on Facebook, actually 2 on Facebook, 2 on Instagram. Like I tried to post it everywhere that I possibly can and the thing. So I'm glad the notification came through. When we do something kind of not the same, I always like, okay. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. In reference to millionaires, they allocate their time, energy, and money efficiently in ways conducive to building wealth. Efficiency is one of the most important components of wealth accumulation. Simply, people who become wealthy allocate their time, energy, and money in ways consistent with enhancing their net worth. Now, so the little acronyms, if you will, for what they talk about. If you go to page, if you have the book, if you go to page 14, they talk about PAWs, and you'll see that over and over again. That's for the top quartile for wealth accumulators. You're a prodigious accumulator. So that's like the top earners. If you are a UAW, you are an under accumulator of wealth. And if you are right there in the middle, you are an average accumulator of wealth, which they call, good morning, Robin, they call an AAW. So PAW earns the most, UAW earns, like net worth is the least, and the AAW is in the middle somewhere. So they say that PAWs, the ones that are earning and accumulating the most wealth, is probably a better way to say it, allocate nearly twice the number of hours per month to planning their financial investments than the under accumulators do. So think about that. They spend nearly twice the number of hours per month than the under accumulators do. There's a strong positive correlation between investment planning and wealth accumulation. UAWs, the under earners, spend less time than PAWs consulting with professional investment advisors, searching for quality accountants, attorneys, and investment counselors, and attending investment planning seminars, etc. We have determined that under accumulators are much more concerned than prodigious accumulators with the prospects of, 1, not being wealthy enough to retire comfortably, and 2, never accumulating significant wealth. It says, are their concerns realistic? Yes, yet the UAWs spend more time worrying about their issues than taking proactive steps to change their tendencies to overconsume and underinvest. Let me say that again, because I feel like on this channel, this is like a common theme, or just in general, the people that are not accumulating as much wealth spend more time worrying about the issue, just obsessing, worrying about these issues than actually taking the proactive steps to change their tendencies to overconsume and underinvest. And I think many of us that have come to this channel have realized, like, hey, I'm worrying about all this stuff. What am I gonna do to make this different? And that's what we're doing here every day, right? Every single week, that's what we're doing. By the way, if you are in debt or you have any debt, on Friday, I'm going to do a video on some getting out of debt motivation for Frugal Friday. So if that's something that you are looking to, you need a little inspiration, need a little motivation, watch my video on Friday. And then tomorrow, just so you know, Pajama Drama is back, and we are talking about if you guys have been watching a little bit, you know I originally started watching, I started listening to Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover, and I had so many light bulbs that went off when I originally listened to it. But I'm going to share the 3 ways, my top 3 ways that I don't follow Dave Ramsey. And I'm interested in what you guys think on that. So if you get a chance tomorrow night during Pajama Drama, come visit and weigh in on your thoughts on that. What type of person recently indicated that he was afraid and, oh, thank you, Grace. Yes, guys, hit that like button if you get a chance. I appreciate when you come in, just, it's like you're checking in. Just hit the thumbs up like, yup, I'm here. Number 1, experiencing a significant reduction in the standard of living and not having an income high enough to satisfy his family's purchasing habits. So he's saying, who is this person? They give a couple options of what you might think, or I'll steal your cookies. Yes. He says, who is this person? Perhaps a mail carrier with 2 children in college, or perhaps he's a single low-income parent who has to raise 3 children, who gets to raise 3 children. I just want to change the wording there. Gets to raise 3 children. That's not what the words are, but do you envision a middle-aged corporate manager who recently found out that his position would be eliminated? Certainly, these are logical guesses. But people in these categories would very likely express fear about having to reduce their standard of living and not having the income to satisfy their family's buying habits. But none of these people are the ones they're going to talk about in the profile. So then they get into the examples of Dr. South and Dr. North. Hey guys, do we have any doctors in the KSquad that are in today? I do believe we do have a couple doctors. Are any of the doctors here in the chat? Because they talk a lot about doctors in this chapter. Oh, Zoila, welcome. Zoila Cruz, welcome to the family. I'm so glad you're here. I think you might have, this is your first time for a live, right? Though I feel like I've seen you before, maybe in comments or something. Thank you, Willow. Yes, Zoila. So, okay. Oh, there's so many like details with this, but I want to like talk about, yes, first time live. I want to talk about like the contrast of what they're showing with Dr. South and Dr. North. So let's just get into it. The respondent who actually expressed these fears and worries is a surgeon in his 50s, whom we will call Dr. South. He is married and has 4 children. Why should he be worried about his standard of living and his income? Could it be that he's down on his luck, perhaps unable to continue to practice medicine because of a disability? No. Actually, he's a fine physician and earns more than $700,000 during the year prior to our interview with him. But in spite of his high income, his net worth in real terms is declining. He has reasons to be afraid and worried. Dr. North is very similar to Dr. South in age, income, family composition, but Dr. North is a PAW, which prodigious, that means he's the top wealthy. His profile is also detailed later in this chapter. Dr. North has far fewer worries than Dr. South. He's not afraid. I like that they're breaking all this down because they're trying to explain why some people become millionaires and why some don't. And this is one of the things, okay? It takes a little bit to get there, but Dr. North has far fewer worries than Dr. South. He's not afraid of being forced to reduce his standard of living. Unlike Dr. South, he is not concerned that his income will not be high enough to satisfy his family's purchasing habits. This is especially interesting given that Dr. South and Dr. North have similar incomes. So both of them are making around $700,000 a year. The case studies that follow will introduce you to these physicians and their families. You'll learn a lot about how each man makes use of his time, energy, and money. But before we profile these two physicians in detail, we'll discuss the income and wealth accumulating habits of physicians in general. Now, this was really interesting because I think that doctors, everyone always thinks, like, let's just really quickly rapid fire in the comments. What do you envision for the lifestyle of a doctor? When you picture a doctor, what are they driving? What are they wearing? What is their house like? What are their spending habits like? A doctor. Team Gert, where you been? I almost messaged you last night because I was like, where is he? Guys, just real quick, rapid fire. When you think of a doctor, what do you think of for their lifestyle? Lavish. Right, that's a lavish. Like, they have a lot of money, we think. Doctors, living the doctor life. Long hours. Brand names. BMW, mansion, lavish vacations, very rich. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. They take too long. Oh, 16-hour days, Team Gert. You love it. I love it. A lot of stress, Grace. A lot of stress. She's like, never mind all this money. They're stressed. Lexus, country club, rolled. Okay. So on average, physicians earn more than 4 times the income of the average household. Now, this is going to sound all pretty for a second, but there's another side of it that I thought was very interesting. You live around doctors, you never know it. Okay. So the average, okay, they make 4 times. So they make around 140,000 versus 33,000. But Dr. South and Dr. North are hardly average physicians. They're gifted and highly trained. In fact, the average annual income for someone in their specialty is more than $300K. Oh, Gert, you love this book. But again, they are extraordinary even among their cohorts. Last year, they earned more than $700K. So these are like highly specialized, not even the average doctor, like way up there, right? In spite of his income, Dr. South has a relatively small level of accumulated wealth. He spends a lot, invests little. Our research has found that physicians in general do not tend to be wealthy accumulators. In fact, isn't this weird, right? You're like, you think the doctors have it made, but in fact, among all major high income producing occupations, physicians have a significantly low propensity to accumulate substantial wealth. For every 1 doctor in the PAW, there are 2 UAW in the category, that category. Why are doctors lagging behind on the wealth scale? There's a very logical reason, actually. There are several reasons. Foremost among them is the correlation between wealth and education. Doctors are in school for a long time not making money. They're actually accumulating debt, while others start early and start accumulating their wealth in their 20s. These doctors are in school for years and years and years to get set up to save your life. Okay? So, this relationship may surprise some people. For all high income earners, those earning at least 100K annually, wouldn't that be nice to make 100K annually? Let's all just let's just invite that all into our lives. 100K annually, that would be nice, right? The relationship between education and wealth accumulation is negative. High income PAWs, the high earners, are significantly less likely than the under earners to hold graduate degrees, law degrees, or medical degrees. Millionaires typically indicate on our survey, business owner, some college, 4-year graduate, or no college. So not even like the highest education you can get. Warning, parents should not suggest that their children drop out of college and start a business. That's just, I mean, not necessarily, that might be right, but That's warning, that's not necessarily what it means. He says, most businesses fail within a few years of their conception. Only a small minority of business owners ever earn a six-figure income. But those who do tend to accumulate more wealth than others in the same income cohort. Willow, you're like, I don't even know what I would do with 100K. What would I do? I would be hooking people up with. I would love eventually. Have you guys ever seen, good morning, Donna. Have you guys ever seen the YouTube channel Mr. Beast? Has anybody ever heard of Mr. Beast or seen Mr. Beast? I would love to be the female frugal version of Mr. Beast. He gets like subscribers and sponsors, and everybody contributes to his channel, and he like surprises people with houses that can't afford houses. Yes, Valerie, you've seen Mr. Beast. He blesses people with money like I've never seen before. If you get a chance, maybe check him out. In some are, you know, kind of gimmicky, and, you know, there's a lot of, purposely, the thumbnails are very enticing. He has these really clickbaity thumbnails and titles, but he actually does the things. So it's not really clickbait because it does happen. It's crazy. I would love to be a person that figures out how to get money to bless people that really need it, you know? That would be a dream of mine for sure. Okay, so the some college, the four-year college graduate, and the no college types who have high incomes often had a head start on many well-educated workers. Doctors and other well-educated professionals get a very late start in the earning race, right? Because they stay in school. People that start their own businesses, people in the trades, like there's so many people that start early, they're not making money. So there could be like a decade of doctors not earning anything, and in fact accumulating debt, and then they're gonna, you know, get started later. But you guys know that magic of compound interest when you start early. Yeah. Yes, to be able to give to others generously would be a blessing. It would, I try to bless people in small ways because that's what I can do right now. But eventually, guys, I would love to grow this, all of this, to just be as generous as possible. I think you guys, well, I don't talk about it that much but I will start talking about it more because that is a dream of mine. Hopefully I help you guys in the best ways I can doing videos, but eventually I want to do a lot more. Good morning, Violetta. Yes, okay. All right. Most experts on wealth agree that the earlier one starts investing okay, let me say this again. Most experts on wealth agree that the earlier one starts investing, hey buns, the greater the opportunity to accumulate wealth, right? I have told you this, and I will say it again on my video tomorrow. My biggest regret is not starting sooner. I wish oh, good morning, everyone that's coming in. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. What time? Okay. I wish I would have started sooner. So the earlier you start, Suzanne said, spend on experiences, not crap. Yes, and a lot of this book, they're always talking about spending time, money, and energy on things that are actually going to make them more money. So I'll continue. All right, in a nutshell, I could go on and on about this, but in a nutshell, the doctors start later. So I like this one actually. In sharp contrast, consider the situation of Dr. Dokes, who graduated from high school the same year as Mr. Denzi. Dr. Dokes opened his private practice more than a dozen years after his classmate, Mr. Denzi, started a business. During the 12-year period, Dr. Dokes spent his time studying and spending his savings his parents' money, and he borrowed for tuition and living expenses. During the time, Mr. Denzi, who designated himself as not college material, focused his resources on building his business and becoming financially independent. Who is in the UAW category today? It is the not college material business owner, Mr. Denzi, or the valedictorian of his high school class, Dr. Dokes. The answer's obvious. Mr. Denzi is a prototypical PAW, while Dr. Dokes is a UAW. Interestingly, both earned approximately the same income last year, nearly $160K, but Mr. Denzi has 5 to 6 times the wealth of his high school classmate, and he has no debt. Oprah said, when you're rich, you still are the person you were when you were poor. Think about that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, everything Oprah. God, I love her. Okay. Mr. Denzi can teach us all something about accumulating wealth. Begin earning and investing early in your adult life. I can't say it enough. And I told you guys, I only started investing in my 30s, my late 30s. And if I could go back in time, Rosie Bunny, I address you every single week. Get started early, my dear. That will enable you to outpace the wealth accumulation levels of even the so-called gifted kids from your high school class. Yeah, what you do now, priceless, yes. Remember, wealth is blind. It cares not if its patrons are well educated. So the authors have an excuse. How else does one explain why 2 experts on wealth are not wealthy? In part, because they spent a combined total of nearly 20 years pursuing higher education. And that's not to say you shouldn't become a doctor. It's just saying like you're going to be a little bit late to the wealth accumulation race because you're really investing your time, money, and energy in your to-be profession. Another reason very well-educated people tend to lag behind on the wealth scale has to do with the status ascribed to them by society. Okay, so then this is the other part that makes me like, poor doctors. Doctors, as well as others with advanced degrees, are expected to play their parts. The parts we just asked earlier, like, what do you think doctors look like and act like? Mr. Denzi is a small business owner. In spite of being wealthy, he's not expected by society to live in an exclusive neighborhood. He would not be out of place in a modest home or driving a nondescript sedan. His domestic overhead is significantly lower than Dr. Dokes. Many people tell us you can judge a book by its cover, meaning that high-grade doctors, lawyers, accountants, and so on are expected to live in expensive homes. They're also expected to dress and drive in a style congruent with their ability to perform their professional duties. How do you judge the professionals you patronize? Too many people judge them by display factors. Extra points are given to those who wear expensive clothes, drive luxury automobiles, and live in exclusive neighborhoods. They assume a professional is likely to be mediocre, even incompetent, if he lives in a modest home and drives a 3-year-old Ford Crown Victoria. Very, very few people judge the quality of the professionals they use by net worth criteria. Many professionals have told us that they must look successful to convince their customers or clients that they are. Do you guys feel that way about your doctor? Like if you saw your doctor, if you just like went to your doctor for serious medical advice and you both go out to the parking lot and he jumps in a beat up truck and drives away, would that make you feel differently or that doesn't matter? Or your dentist, you're at the dentist and they have this high status of, whatever, and then they go jump in a beater and drive home. Does that kind of spoil the illusion that they are successful, or no, you'd be fine with it? It's funny to think about. Like, you probably just assume they drive and dress a certain way. It would! Valerie, you're like, I would be shocked, right? Imagine they get in this beater and it's like, like barely starts and like barely gets out of the driving parking lot. You know? They have lots of student loan debt. Yeah. Right. Yeah, Marcia says, I think I'd respect that even more. That they're like, I'll drive this beater. It's fine. Yeah, Willow, sounds like it. Same thing in private banking. Yeah. Hi, Bar Grover. Yeah, I would think they were in debt, Monica. Right. I mean, it's just funny to think about the pressures so to go along with, like, say these people want these professions, but they don't want to elevate everything along with it, but they feel the pressure to do it because that's what they're expected to do. Oh, wow, Susan. Yeah, no one knows another from the outside. Totally. My dentist drives a normal car and he's a millionaire. Yes. Physicians often find that there are disadvantages to living in affluent neighborhoods. People who live in expensive areas are often bombarded with solicitations from cold calling investment experts. Many of these callers assume that people in upscale areas have money to invest. In reality, many people who live in luxury have little money left over after funding their high consumption lifestyles. A plastic 3 boats and 5 cars, assembling a pension plan. Oh, Team Gert, I'd apply the Kate method if I made 200K, owned 100K, I'd pay off my debt in a year. Yes. He had 3 boats, 5 cars, but hadn't gotten around to assembling a pension plan. Financial investments, didn't have those either. Speaking of his colleagues, the surgeon said, I don't know even one guy who hasn't been beaten to death in the financial markets. As a result, they don't have anything. At least I'm going to enjoy spending my money. Later on, the doctor summed up his financial philosophy. Money, he said, with a wave of his hand, is the most easily renewable resource. This comes from Why You're Not as Wealthy as You Should Be, a book by Thomas J. Stanley. What other factors explain why so many doctors are members of the UAW group? Our research shows that they are generally unselfish. On average, they contribute a higher percentage of their incomes to noble causes than do other income producers. Also, doctors are among the least likely to receive inheritance from their parents. Their less educated brothers and sisters are significantly more likely to inherit money. In some cases, physicians are asked by their elderly parents to help out less fortunate brothers and sisters after the parents are no longer able to help pay their bills. These findings are detailed in Chapter 6. So not only are the doctors behind on starting their money making because they are in school trying to be the best they can be, they're the most generous, giving their money to causes that need it, and nobody's giving it to them. Their parents are actually bypassing them. They're like, they're a doctor, they're going to be fine, and giving the money to other people, right? Interesting. Doctors often allocate large amounts of their time to serving patients. They rarely work fewer than 10 hours a day, thus expending most of their time, energy, and intellect on patients. In doing so, they tend to neglect their economic well-being. Some doctors figure that working hard translates into a large income and that therefore there's no need to design a household budget. Duh! Some ask why they should waste time planning a domestic budget and investments when there's so much income to be made. Many high income producing UAWs feel this way. Do you guys see the problem there? I do. PAWs tend to have the opposite feelings. To them, money is a resource that should never be squandered. They know that planning, budgeting, and being frugal are essential parts of building wealth, even for very high income producers. Even high income producers must live below their means if they intend to become financially independent. And if you're not financially independent, you'll spend an increasing amount of time and energy worrying about your socioeconomic future. Okay, planning and controlling. What I do best, just kidding. Planning and controlling consumption are key factors underlying wealth accumulation. Thus, one should expect that PAWs like Dr. North take the time to plan their budgets. They do. Conversely, Dr. South has no control over his family's consumption. That gives me like the, hi Noreen, that gives me like I itch just thinking about not having a budget and having no plan, no control over my family's consumption other than his household's income limit. Yeah. He asked Dr. Oh my gosh, let me start that over. We asked Dr. South and North about their respective planning and controlling systems. Yeah, the question was, does your household operate on a fairly well thought out budget? Dr. South said no. Dr. North said yes, absolutely. Operating a household without a budget is everybody just tune in with me right here. Hi, Pamela, good morning. Everybody tune in for this sentence. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Operating a household without a budget is akin to operating a business without a plan, without goals, and without directions. I truly agree. The Norths have a budget that calls for them to invest at least 1/3 of their pre-tax household income each year. In fact, during the year that we interviewed Dr. North, he and his wife invested nearly 40% of their annual pre-tax income. Again, they're high earners, right? And they don't inflate their lifestyle. So they've got that money to put aside and invest. Imagine investing 40%. How were they able to do this? In short, they consume at the same level as the average family that earns about 1/3 as much as they do. So they spend what the average American household spends and they invest the rest. Yeah. Oh, we're buffering? Uh-oh. Good morning, Back Road Money. We asked both doctors another set of questions. Do you know how much your family spends each year for food, clothing, and shelter? Do you spend a lot of time planning your financial future? Are you frugal? You probably predicted the outcome. Dr. South responded with no's for all three. Dr. North responded with yeses for all three. Oh gosh, this one makes me itch too. Ready? Okay, so Dr. South, I told you, no's. Consider the frugal orientation of Dr. North. He stated emphatically, for instance, that he never bought a suit that was not offered at a discount or a special price. This is not to suggest that Dr. South is poorly dressed, nor does he wear cheap suits. Rather, he purchases quality clothing, but not at full price and never on impulse. This behavior was part of his socialization process as a youth. He says, when I was going to school, my wife taught. We had a small income. Even then, we always had a rule to save. Even then, we saved. You can invest without something. You can't invest without something. The first thing is to save. Even when I was 11 years old, I saved my first $50 from working in a grocery store. It's just like today, only today the number of zeros has changed. More zeros, but it's the same rule, same discipline. You must take advantage of investment opportunities. You have to have something to take advantage of excellent opportunities. It's part of my background. Gil says it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Yes. This is the part that makes me itch. Listen to this. Dr. South reported having just the opposite orientation. How much did he and his family spend on clothing during the year prior to our interview? If you don't have the book, guess how much Dr. South's family spent on clothing. Give me a guess real quick. Hi, Melissa. 5K? 5,000? $30,000. 10,000. 30. They don't know, Granny Prepper says. About $30,000. Thus, the South spend nearly as much on clothing as the average American household earns over the year, right? The average American household, when this book was $33,000 a year. Javier, good morning. How can you spend $30,000 a year on clothing? Oh my God. I was like, yikes. So we're getting it, right, guys? Like, all right, let me fast forward to this car shopping method. Long story short, Dr. South and Dr. North. Dr. South takes, it's overwhelming, 60 hours of time to purchase his car, which you think like, oh, he's really being thoughtful, but it was not. It was overkill. Those 60 hours could have best been put elsewhere. Dr. North had a different system and spent a lot less time and spent a lot less money. That's more than our yearly budget, right, Granny Prepper? Imagine just spending that in clothes. Oh my gosh. Valerie, come back. Come back. Valerie just fainted. Yeah, I don't know where you guys are at, but I have never spent $30,000 in 1 year. I don't even know. Let me think. I mean, I probably don't spend more than on a splurgy year, more than 500 is probably even high. What, guys, you guys know, I don't even keep a clothing budget. I have a Kate budget under my lifestyle, and that goes to whatever I need. So if I need clothing, it comes out of that. But I mean, I don't think I've ever, I'm saying ever. I'm not saying every year. I don't even know how much I spend. I would say 500 would be a high year, a super high year for me for clothing. $30,000? What the what? Yeah, it's not a priority. So now, guys, I have a new job. The other job, it's kind of like the other job was more like, you could kind of dress like office professional, but a lot of people, because it was in a plumbing heating place, a lot of people wore jeans often. We could wear hoodies. We could be very, very cozy. In my new job, I need to be more just like a like office professional every day. So jeans are like a Friday thing, not all week long. So I might have to invest just a little bit in clothing this year, or maybe ask for that for Christmas or my birthday, a couple things. But I mean, I've got enough, I think. I can't imagine 30K in clothes. That would be a nice chunk of change to invest. Absolutely, right? Miss Shadow Llama, wouldn't you rather invest that? Oh. Yes, Sandra, I have started my new job. For those of you that I haven't even said it out loud. I am back in the school system. It's not the same school. I am now an administrative assistant in a school, and that is my happy place. Love being in the school system, love the school environment. Thank you. So I'm very, very happy. Yes, I started last week. Last week? Thank you. Like right after the 4th of July-ish. Oh. There's so many things. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it might be fun to get dressed up. Thanks, Helter Skelter. I'm pumped. I don't have summers off. I still work year round, as I did when I was at the other school job, and I don't have vacations off. Like but I will adjust my schedule. Yes, holidays, yes. So I will still have holidays off, and more holidays than at the other one. This one is like all the holidays. At my other job, it was only certain holidays, so there's more holidays off. My vacation time, I will line up with Kaden's for the most part. This year is going to be a weird one. I'll explain that in another video. We've got a weird plan this year, but normally I will line them up with Kaden's time off, so that will be good, except summer. I'm going to have to figure something out. Oh, God, Willow. Guys, clarification. It's not my child. I'm going to a friend's baby shower. But thank you. I'm excited, too. I wake up pretty excited to do that. You're in a total mood today? Sorry, not sorry. Guys, as far as like, there's a lot of tables. Suzanne, if you're still here, we're not going to go over all the tables. Okay. Those who succeed among the ranks. Hi, this Mom Budgets. No, I'm not. No, I'm going to a friend's baby shower. I have my gift ready for her. You are here, Suzanne. Yeah, I just skipped over like 7,000 charts. Nice. Thank you, Diane. Though it's called, this part says, your time is your own. The work factor is an important part of understanding the difference between PAWs and UAWs. Note in our study of middle income respondents, the percentage of PAWs and UAWs who are self-employed. In this study, self-employment correlated significantly with planning investments. Overall, the self-employed spend more time planning their investment strategies than those who work for others. That's interesting. Active or inactive trader. We're not going to really get into trading today. Again, more charts, Suzanne. This is kind of funny. There's this guy that makes a ton of money. Oh, hi, plan for your life. Plan your one life. I'm so sorry. Oh, Suzanne, I do want to talk about the book that I want to talk about next month. Give me just a sec. This talks about the Martin method, and this guy was making like $5 million a year, and people would try to convince him that they would be his best financial advisor. And he goes, oh, so you're really good. Well, I'll tell you what, send me a copy of your personal income tax returns from the last years and a list of what you've had in your own portfolio for the past 3 years. If you made more money than I did from investments, I'll invest with you. Here's my address. It says, perhaps you're asking yourself how Mr. Martin. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sandra, for the time check. Because I do have to get out of here for that shower. Thank you. You guys are so thoughtful. Perhaps you're asking yourself how Mr. Martin finds time to evaluate all those stacks of credentials. And the answer was, not one person ever gave him that. That was his criteria, and nobody ever took him up on it. So, really quickly, on to chapter, I know we just spent a lot of time in this chapter, but I don't have a lot to say on chapter 4. You aren't what you drive. We aren't what we drive. There's this story about this guy who made a ton of money and he was getting gifted a Rolls Royce. And he didn't take it. He didn't want it. He says, money should never change one's values. Making money is only a report card. It's a way to tell how you're doing. He said, something interesting happened. I discovered I was given a surprise present, a Rolls Royce. It was ordered for me, special color, special interior. Still had about 5 months for delivery. Yeah. And he said, there's nothing the Rolls Royce represents that's important in my life, nor would I want to have to change my life to go along with owning a Rolls. Like I do right now when I go fishing. I'm going to have to get you all to the lake. I'm out fishing here every weekend. We have some of the best freshwater fishing in the country right out here when I keep my fishing boat. So he didn't want to throw dead, he didn't want to change his lifestyle for a Rolls. So he actually rejected it. Oh, Suzanne says, we aren't what we drive, but I think how you take care of what you have speaks volumes. That's true. Even if you've got a beater, is it nice and vacuumed? Is it clean? This is talking a lot about cars, and I hope no one's offended, but I don't really have a lot of interest in talking about this much. Is anybody else was there anything in that chapter that you were like, Kate, please talk about it? It's talking about user vehicle prone loyalist, user vehicle prone shoppers. I'm sorry, that what your buying habits reveal. I am the same. Okay, a bunch of charts. You wouldn't want to pay the insurance. Okay, so there's nothing that's I will say, it says frugality translates into wealth. I'm good. Being frugal is a major reason members of the used vehicle prone group are wealthy. Being frugal provides them with a dollar base to invest. In fact, they invest a significantly larger portion of their annual income than do any other types of vehicle buyers. Then there's a bunch of case studies. We don't care. No offense to the authors, but we're not going to get into that discussion today. Okay, let me get something. Okay. I'm going to get very Kate on you right now, okay? So before I talk about what I want to talk about next month, let's just take a second. So next week, we're going to talk about chapters 5 and 6, which are economic outpatient care, which I'm really excited to talk about because it's talking about not enabling your kid with money and how your kid can, your children will benefit from you not just giving them everything. And then affirmation, action, family style. So that's next week, okay? Now, what we've been kind of doing as a book club is what we've been kind of habitually doing is reading a non-finance book and then a finance book, a non-finance book and a finance book. I think it keeps us well-rounded. And I think that, as you guys know, my focus is finance and budgeting and minimalism and frugal living. But I also have a lot of other things to share. My background's in psychology, and I'm always looking for ways to improve your life as an all-around person, not just your finances. Hopefully your finances are like our foundation, but I like hearing your thoughts on other stuff. Now, when we read The Slight Edge, this was one of his recommendations over and over again. And I really want to read it, and I want to read it with you, because one of the things I've shared with you guys recently is I'm trying to be more present and more in the moment, and in a world of technology that we all are experiencing, being on our phones, not enjoying the moment. Yeah, my background's in psychology. I have a BA in psychology. I'm very interested in these topics and how we can be more present and really focus on now and not be everywhere else. I think it makes our lives. Oh, you are too, Michelle, psych major. I think it improves every aspect of our life when we are present where we are. Okay, so I've been wanting to read this for as long as I've heard about it. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Has anyone even heard of it? Oh, thank you. Monica says the psychology degree shines in how and what you do. Love it. Thank you. You just bought that book? Who just bought that book, Susan? No, but sounds interesting. It's a wonderful book, says name 2. I read the book. Awesome book. Okay. So if you've already read it, please come back and dive in with us. If you haven't, I will leave a link. I'll do a post. I feel like on a couple of my videos, I actually put it there because I was anticipating I was going to. Oh, Jamie, you've read it. It's great. Okay. This is what I want to read all together because I really feel like we're going to get a lot out of it with all the concepts. You read it years ago. Love to read it again. Yes. All right. This is going to be our August book, but not on August 1st. August 1st, we're going to finish up The Millionaire Next Door, and then we'll go into this one. Marsha, okay. Well, hopefully with the book club, we'll dive a little deeper into it too, and I'll try to break it off so it's not overwhelming. Was just listening to it a day ago. Okay. Oh, Norman says, I can't wait for you to write a book. Thank you. I really, that will happen someday. That's the plan. Oh, The Richest Man in Babylon. Might be interested in checking it out. Ooh, I will check that out. Guys, if you ever have suggestions that you think are really great, down in the description is my email. So you could always email me your suggestions, of course. All right, so that, guys, I hope that you get a copy and or use my link if you guys can. I get a really small, let me see. I don't have it on there. I will do a post later with it on there. Check my community post. If you ever use my my links, it just gives me a small kickback. I really appreciate that. Oh, This Mom Budgets. You love The Richest Man in Babylon? I've got to check that out. All right, guys, I've got to get off to this baby shower. Thank you for joining me today. Love seeing you all. Great morning. I'm about to go out in this pouring rain and celebrate my friend. Just start and write whenever writing. Trust me, the book will write itself. And this is from Successful Writers. Oh, Monica, are you a writer? Do I already know this? Are you a writer? Have you read The Simple Plan to Wealth? No, I have not, Letty. That's another one I have to put on the list here to check out. Oh, what's that one? I have read The Richest Man. Oh, Nice. Oh, several of you have read that one. Ah, who's that from? Suzanne, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is so appreciated. Thank you so much. Guys, the more of those that I get, the more you become members of the channel, which is $1.99 a month. All these things are put back into the channel so that I can serve you better and eventually become the Mr. Beast of frugal living. Like, that's what I really want to do. So please know, anytime you become a member, anytime you do a super chat like that, anytime you buy a hoodie or a mug or a t-shirt on my website, any of that stuff, I reinvest it back into serving you better. So thank you. And I love you too. I hopefully, I want to grow this so much. So any contribution you make to the channel to support it and help us grow, I appreciate it so much. I'm not currently writing. However, you have me an idea for a single book the other day. Ooh, Monica, do it. Oh gosh, I just want to keep talking to you guys. What did I get her for the baby shower? Hold on. Look at me. Look at me. I'm like squirrel. I'll show you exactly what I got her. Hope you're not watching, Britt. This is on her registry, okay? So this. Oh, sorry, Buns. This. She's having a little girl. Are you kidding me? Look at this cute little outfit. Oh. This toy that was on the registry. This baby banana infant toothbrush, which is on the registry. And I was so happy this was on the registry. It's an avocado toy, like rattler for the stroller. And this quiet bunny. She said instead of a card, could we please not give cards, give a book and sign it. So, and then the bag, of course, is sloth on a moon. I mean, come on, people. The avocado, right? Didn't I just obsess about avocados in the video on Friday? Love avocados. And I don't get to shop for girls, so this was kind of exciting. Yeah, I thought that was a great idea for her to request books instead of cards that you're going to throw away anyway. How? Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. Boom. The sloth. Oh my God, I really gotta go. But guys, thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you for everything. Video tomorrow night, pajama drama, 6 p.m. Top 3 ways I disagree with Dave Ramsey and don't follow those 3 things. There are many things that I think he does great, but those 3 things I'm gonna share with you tomorrow. And Friday, we're talking getting out of debt motivation. Oh yes, thank you guys. Hit that thumbs up. Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, I love you guys. Bye.